Well, my video cut out last time, and I was like, how rude. But here we are, we're back. All right, when I finished up in the last one, we had just ungrounded the top part and slid it out. And so we're in our assembly still. So let's apply some constraints to this thing. And um, if we had holes, we could constrain some of the holes, but we're going to constrain. We're just going to use a mate constraint and go with the axes of the cylinder. So you want to hover around until you get an axis line, and then do the same thing down here. All right, and so I'm going to say, okay, that, whoa, no go. I got the bottom of it instead. Wasn't paying attention. So let's go again. Oh, no, it was fine. Duh. Okay, so that constrained it about that point. Okay. Now, because we're doing two half cylinders together, we're going to do the same thing and get the axis point of that one and the axis point of this one. And that will do two things. It aligns it so it doesn't rotate anymore, and it also gets its vertical height here. So that's got that fully constrained. We can check it here in degrees of freedom, and we have none. Okay, so that's the assembly. So let's save that back. Now, the way top-down design works is if we make an edit to the parent part, that edit flows down to the child parts, the top and the bottom. If we do edits to the children parts, it does not flow back up to the parent. Okay, so you need to keep that in mind. So let's go back to the parent part here, and we're going to put a rib underneath here. And so let's do a sketch on my XY plane. I'm going to slice graphics, and I'm going to put a line snapping onto the edge of there, down to the edge of here. Okay, and now let's dimension this as 45 degrees. And then this dimension here, from the face of the object back to the line, I'm going to make that 0.1. And then we can finish our sketch. If you got that constrained on both ends, now your drawing's fully constrained. So let's finish our sketch. Now the reason I did this as a 0.10, if you look in the textbook, that thing comes out flush. But as you remember in previous classes, when we have a rib that goes flush to a cylinder, you can't be flush at the very center of the rib, or else the corners will stick out past it. So we're going to attempt to use a rib tool. If the rib tool does not work for you, then do you a sketch and extrude it. It's just when you do, you got to be aware that the edges of the rib need to contact the cylinder. So let's go to our rib tool, and let's select this profile, that sketch, and we're going to go here, parallel to sketch plane, and then we're going to play with our direction here, and there we got it. And so let's change our thickness, which is 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and so that created our rib. And so now we can come up here and we can look at this and see, because we had 0.1 here, we want to know the distance from the face to there. So let's go measure face to point, and it's 0.069. So if I subtract that from my 0.1, it gives me 0.031. So I can go back into my sketch and change that, but I'll go ahead and tell you it won't work because it's exact, it's precise, and it won't work. So let's go back in here and edit the sketch. And let's change that dimension right there to 0.032 and finish the sketch. Now it works because it's so close there. All right. Now, while we are here, let's go ahead and put a fillet across the bottom of this rib, and this will become apparent later as we're doing stuff. So normally we wouldn't do fillets in the parent part because it gets really complicated, but this one will work out okay for us. So we'll go okay. All right, and so we'll save that part. Now let's go to our assembly. And we say, oh, no rib. Oh, no. But we see the little lightning bolt warning us here that we have an update. So we do our update. And there's the rib along with the fillet. Amazing. Now, let's open your vid bottom file. And there's the bottom file. Check it out. Isn't that cool? Okay. So let's put our holes in. This one has threaded holes, right? Yes. So we'll go with our hole command, threaded hole. And my size is a 7/8 inch by 9. By 9. It's going to be a full depth and through all. And so let's place it concentrically. And okay. And so that looks good. So let's save that part. Okay, I'm looking at my notes. And let's open our top, vid top. And we've got some counter bore holes in here. And let's see, would I do those now? I can do them now. I can do the cut. Probably I'll do the cut first. Okay, but before we do those, let's go ahead and apply a fillet to these edges right here, because the fillets on the top look really easy, but for some reason, once we have this circular cutout here, the fillet tool wants to go all the way around it. So let's go ahead and apply our fillets here before we go any further. Okay, now we'll do a sketch in the cutout here at the top. So we'll do a sketch on this plane, and it's a concentric circle. Okay, so the book shows that as being a radius 0.938. Is that right? Magnifying glass. Radius 938. I have some issues. Oh, that's the counter bore I'm worried about. Sorry. So yeah, radius 0.938. Fully constrained. So let's extrude. If you haven't picked up on it yet, if you're in sketch mode, the letter E will activate the extrude command. That's the part I want to extrude up, but we're cutting in the up direction to all. Okay, beautiful. You can do the same thing over here, or you can mirror that. Let's put our counter bore in, and then we'll mirror. Okay, so we'll go hole. This one is a counter bore, no threads. Okay, the counter bore diameter. The book shows that being as a diameter 1.50 for the counter bore. but the bolt head will not fit down in there if we do that, because you have to have clearance on the bolt head. And I made some notes according to that in the in Blackboard. But we're going to go ahead and make our counter bore 1.525. And the depth, it's more of a spot face than a counter bore. 0.062 depth. Diameter here 0.906, because we need clearance for a 7/8 inch bolt to go through. Okay, all that looks good. So I'll pick my surface and concentric it and go okay. So that looks good. But now we will have to check that to make sure we got clearance when we put our bolt in. So now let's mirror those two features. Awesome. Save that. Okay, and so fillets are pretty much done up here on this part. So let's check out our assembly. See the changes in the assembly. That's good. But parent part, no changes. All right, so let's go to our bottom part. Now then, fillets are going to be challenging. And I'm kind of going to walk you through. It's simply because this is so complex. And I'll walk you through different ways to make these fillets. And I've got some images here. To start with, we'll do an easy one first. We've got a 3/8. We got some 375 fillets right there and right there. Okay, those are the easy ones. The externals are easy. So let's change that back down to 0.125. And we'll go ahead and do that one and that one. This one and that one. That one. And that one. And these in here. Okay, those are the easy ones. Now for the hard ones. And I'll go ahead and start my fillet command and bring this image over. This is step 1. So we want to do all of these. And I told you we went ahead and created this fillet previously, because after you've created these things, it doesn't want to work. So take a look at that. We're going to do the sides of the rib up to the cut, around and up the side of the cylinder there. So I'll choose that, up to the cut, around and up, and I'll apply those. Except for, I think we wanted to go all the way up. Nope, that's good, just like that. Okay, so there's step 1. Step 2 is around the bottom of the cylinder, and this is reversed, it's on the other side. So it's down this edge of the cylinder and then around on the inside there. And there's actually 2 pieces here, but it's picking up the one, and then we're going to go around like that. Okay. Let me go back and look at number 2. Because here's coming down, and these are mirror images because this one is actually on the other side when I took the screenshot. Coming down and then going around, and it meets up there. Okay, So now step 3 is the outside edge coming around. And it worked. Eureka, amazing. Okay, so now then you'll want to do fillets on the opposite side. And around here and up the outside. And then number 2. It's down there and around there. And number 3 was around there. All right, so that's about as good as we're gonna get that. Okay, so you check, make sure you got all your fillets in, compare it with the book. Okay, 16 minutes, I'm gonna stop this video and start another one.